I'm leaving Shadiversity. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Nathan, and I've been working for Shad for the past 3 years in many different roles, mostly being a video editor, camera operator, producer, and basically anything else that needs to get done around the studio. And I wanted to make this video to talk a little bit about that, my choices behind leaving, why that's been the case, to talk about anything. You know, you've obviously got questions, and if I don't answer them in the video, then please comment them down below. I'll do my best to answer them, because I know I've watched YouTube videos and people have left or disappeared, and context would have been helpful. And it feels odd as a viewer sometimes when someone just disappears out of nowhere. And so I wanted to make this video to kind of let you all know my choices and what it's led to, and also hopefully a bit of self-promotion, because I've been working for Shad for a very long time. I've done a few things on Night's Watch in terms of self-promotion, but hopefully this video will reach more of you and you can kind of see who I am in front of the camera as well. And so to start off, earlier this year, around February, I believe, I sat down with Tyranth and Shad and told them that it was my intention of leaving around the middle of the year. And we're now there, and I'm leaving. Now, this was a lot earlier than when Nate gave in his notice and moved on. He knew I was leaving as well, but his opportunity, obviously, he didn't want to give up. And so I'm not leaving because Nate's left, and Nate didn't really leave because I had the intention of leaving. We've both come to our own choices as to why we've left Shad. I can't speak too much on Nate. I've met with him recently. We did some videos with Tyranth on his own channel as well. And so, you know, we're still around, we're still friends. We've just made different choices because, you know, we have lives that we want to pursue. And sometimes they don't always mean sticking together as friends side by side. But for me personally, the breaking point and the reason why I decided to leave Shadiversity was because of the cost of living. Now, Shad and the team have done the best they can to make me continue to work there and to have the lifestyle that I want to have. But the biggest point for me was the rent increase that we were notified of by our landlords. And so in terms of my scenario, I started working for Shad because I needed a job. I don't know how, by what chance, I ended up talking with Shad. We had a trial period and I've been working there ever since. And it's been an awesome opportunity. I will never, ever take for granted the fact that I got to work for a YouTuber and have my job be around YouTube full time for 3 years. I think that is incredible. You know, I was part of that generation that first grew up wanting to be YouTubers. And so the fact that I actually got to see everything behind the scenes and see how hard it is and how difficult of a job it actually is something I won't take for granted. You know, I'm very proud of the work that we did. And so I've left Shad because we're actually moving back in with family, and I'm finding new work where we can kind of save up our money and reconfigure our lives to give us the future that we want. Because both me and my wife, we want kids, we want to buy a house, we want to have a happy life. And as it currently stands, you know, Shad is out in the country, my wife is studying in the city, and so these two things are kind of pulling me back and forth. I've obviously tried doing my own YouTube thing. I've been working on my own video game, which I still hope to finish. But it got to the point where, you know, commuting an hour there and back each day for 5 days a week over 3 years on the same freeway, doing similar work. Obviously, my day-to-day is very different, but after 3 years, you know, things really get repetitive. And so all these things kind of combined together with the final blow of the cost of living meant that it's time to move on. And I'm sad because there are things that I will miss. I've gotten comfortable there. I know the people there. I've got skills that I feel like I can keep using. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit burnt out and wanting a change. And so this is kind of all forced my hand basically to make that change. And so my intention with Shad was to never stay forever. It was to provide for my family and hopefully get a job in the games industry or have my own content be self-providing. Unfortunately, neither of that has happened, and so I will be finding a new job to pay the bills. despite moving with family, we have lots of stuff. And so there's still things like storage. My car needs to be serviced. We've been putting that off for a bit too long, as well as insurance and all sorts of things. There's still costs that need to be paid for, and obviously I need to find new work to do that. And with that, I will be streaming. I'm going to be doing more video content here. And hopefully if you enjoy video games, if you enjoy me as a personality, you can come in and chat and talk. I'll be working on my video game Coco Loco on stream, as well as reacting to, pop culture stuff, news relevant stuff, in a bit more relaxed atmosphere. Please hit subscribe, watch the videos, let me know what you like. And I'm monetized, so, any sort of donation or view actually does contribute a lot to this time where it's very difficult for my wife and I. Changes are hard. And so having that reinsurance would actually mean a lot, but I also don't want to beg for it. I want the streams that I'm doing and the videos I'm making to actually be of quality. So if you enjoy them, then just stick around and watch them. And if not, just keep watching Shadiversity and that content, because, I look forward to watching videos without having ever participated in them. To give you context, having filmed most of the videos at Shadiversity and edited them and watching through them several times over, once they're finally finished and released, I kind of just don't want to watch them because I've already watched it 8 times. And so being able to watch videos that Tyranth and Shad make without my input will be quite interesting to see, and maybe I can actually be a viewer again. So the intention is to do some online content, see how that goes. But of course, finding full-time work, because that's what's going to pay the bills realistically. And I'm actually planning on going back to school. I want to become a qualified software engineer. So I'm going to try and get into a university here in Melbourne and do a bachelor's in computer science and become a software engineer. Hopefully they'll transition me into being a technical artist in the games industry. But that's kind of my goal in life. That's what I want to do. I want to program. I want to make things that are software driven. And that's really why I'm leaving Shadiversity, is because I'm going back to school. Obviously, the other things are contributing to that, but it's my intention now to go back and get a qualification that'll give me hopefully a good paying job. I know the tech industry is struggling right now, and basically every industry is, but it's something that I'm passionate about and something that I actually enjoy doing. So hopefully it can be a career that I can feel satisfied in. And so I hope all of the channels under the Shadiversity umbrella can continue. There's some exciting things in the pipeline in terms of carbon fiber and some other potential things in the future, which I hope all fall into place for Shad and the team. I wish them all the best, as they've wished me all the best. And I hope nothing but success for Shadiversity. Personally, I feel like I've worked really hard and been quite committed and grown very attached to the channels. And so when a video doesn't do well, I feel that emotionally. I get sad when videos don't perform well, and I feel quite relieved and excited when they do well. And so I hope that they continue to succeed. And I also just want to clarify, because there's always going to be something, whether it's in the comments or on Reddit. I believe I've left on good terms with the team. There isn't any bad blood between anything. There's no controversy. There's no arguing or fighting behind the scenes. It's just simply needing to move on because of the circumstances outside of my control. And I wish them all the best. And so if there isn't anything that has been answered in this video that you have questions of, comment them below and I will do my best to answer them. Welcome to my channel. I make video games. I'm currently working on a Cafe Dasher game, and I plan on making a bunch of other games in the future as well. I'd love to make some first-person adventure games, shooters. I have so many ideas of things I want to do. And so if any of those things do interest you, then please do stick around. I hope to be streaming at least once a week to begin with, and we'll see where we'll go from there. And so now it's time for me to start packing boxes, moving things into storage, finding a new paying job, and trying to make a living out of content creation here on this channel. So if you want to stick around, then please do. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.